That's what you might think about when you hear the word excited. Welcome to Mother-Daughter Connections, the show dedicated to educating, encouraging, and equipping moms to build lasting, meaningful connections with their daughters. I'm your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. My heart is to be of help to you. I believe that your relationship with your mom is the foundation for your future success, personally, parentally, and professionally. Now remember, even though I'm a licensed psychologist, I'm not your shrink on this show. I am, however, here to share my opinions and those of my guests. If you have concerns about your mental health, please seek services from a mental health provider in your local area. Now join me as we pause to consider today's topic. Well, hi there and welcome. I am so excited that you're here with me today. You know, I often say how excited I am about you being here each episode. And I want you to know that I don't just say that to just say it. I really mean it. Though what I want to do today is just tell you a little bit about what I mean by excited. Now, oftentimes when you hear the word excited, it's used to mean something has a heightened state of energy, enthusiasm, or eagerness, sort of like I was recently watching Jerry Maguire, so it's sort of like the Cuba Gooding Jr., Ron Tidwell type of, hey, hi, ho, like that. That's what you might think about when you hear the word excited. So you would think that through this medium of a podcast, you'd hear my voice sounding like so pumped like Ron Tidwell and Jerry Maguire, right? Every single time. And that might be true for someone whose temperament is normally like a person who is extroverted, which is totally fine. For me, though, what I mean by excited is somewhat different. You see, I'm more of what I'd call a contemplative soul, someone on the quieter side, but quite opinionated when it comes to things I'm passionate about. And when I'm really passionate about something, I live, eat, and breathe it. And it kind of just percolates underneath and bubbles up within me. And it does something really interesting where, like when I'm around folks and they're, seeing things one way or like the glass half empty kind of thing, I tend to be the kind of person who can actually see the potential and possibilities in things. And that bubbling up inside of me, that passion, just kind of fuses with that into a state where it's not just heightened energy, enthusiasm, or eagerness per se, but it's all infused with possibilities, with hope. A hope for you. A hope for you to know that where you are now in your mother-daughter relationship is not the end-all and be-all. Things can get better. I've lived this. I know what it's like to think, oh my God, here we go again with ex-daughter. Okay, what's going to happen now? I know this. I've lived this, and I've gotten to the other side. That's why I believe that healthy mother-daughter relationships are possible. I'm so excited today in particular because even on this 200th episode, I continue to say that I'm really excited and glad that you've joined me here today. You've heard it every single week. My heart is to empower, equip, and encourage you in your journey, not just as a mom who's also a daughter yourself, but also your journey with your daughter. That's why I share what I share, and I have the guests that I have on this podcast. I get so excited when I see and hear about mom-daughter relationships that are being transformed, whether it's through this podcast, my online courses, my one-on-one or group coaching and mom mentoring programs. I love it when members of my email community write to tell me about the positive changes that are occurring in their own relationships as a result of the materials and thoughts that I share with you each and every week or through my email community. Now, this podcast is heard in over 37 different countries right now, and my goal is to reach even more. Now, according to the worldpopulationreview.com website, there are 206 countries in the world. So a year from now, as a springboard from today's 200th episode, my goal and heart's desire is to reach a total of 200 countries by this time next year in 2025. Will you help me do this? Well, you can by simply doing the following 5 steps. 1, go to the review section of the podcast platform you're listening to, whether it's Apple, iTunes, or Spotify. 2, click the 5 stars. 3, write a brief kind word or a shout out in the comments. 4, take a screenshot from your phone. And then 5, click the send button to submit your review. That's it. This would be a huge help because with each review or comment on the podcast platform that you're listening to, the algorithms actually inform other moms about this podcast. In essence, they spread the word. Your review helps spread the word to other moms. I can't begin to tell you, and I've mentioned it on previous episodes, how many times moms tell me that they found out about this podcast because it popped up on their feed. So please help me help other moms receive hope by doing these 5 things. 1, go to the review section of the podcast platform that you're listening to this on, whether it's Apple, iTunes, or Spotify. 2, click the 5 stars. 3, write a brief review or shout out in the comments. 4, take a screenshot from your phone of that review and the 5 stars. And then 5, click send to submit your review. And as my thanks to you for doing that now through the end of March 2024, if you send me an email with a copy of that screenshot, then you'll receive a special link from me that you can use to set up a time to meet with me virtually online and ask me anything. I'm here to help. Yep, that's what I said. Now through the end of March 2024, you'll be able to personally meet with me and ask me anything and get answers when you send me a screenshot of your 5-star review to my email, which is dr.deering, that's DR with a little dot, DEERING, at curativeconnections.com with the subject line review. Again, that's my email, which is dr.deering, DEERING, at Curative Connections, that's spelled CurativConnections.com, and then put in the subject line review. I look forward to reading and receiving your reviews as we grow in this awesome community of moms around the world. I am so glad to be part of this motherhood journey with you. Be encouraged. Healthy mother-daughter relationships are possible. They just take one curative connection at a time. I'll see you next week. You've been listening to Mother-Daughter Connections with me, your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. Thanks so much for joining me today. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Share this episode with a friend so they don't miss an episode. And download the resource in the show notes. Until next time, remember to pause to consider how you can connect intentionally so you can improve relationally with your daughter.